press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Okay, hello my dear students, hope you people are doing good. Yes, we had started with the chapter electoral politics, right? What all things did we discuss here? We came up with what is election, how election is conducted, how that can, there were certain conditions put up, right? So all these things we did discuss. Apart from that, we came up with voters list, how the voters list is prepared. So we got to know all these things, right? Apart from that, how the candidates do get the tickets. We did discuss about this, right? Now, today, let us know what makes an election in India a democratic one. Okay, so every now and then we keep reading in newspaper that certain like unfair practices took place during the election, right? You have come across many a times. Or maybe in movies and all you have seen how the unfair means will be used to win the election, right? So, is this correct? To what extent it is correct? Okay, every now and then we read it, not only in newspapers, maybe through WhatsApp messages they exchange all those things saying that yes, certain things were unfairly done, right? All these unfair practices they do adopt, right? So is it correct? So to what extent this can be practiced? Is it allowed by the government itself? Should we question the government that how can you allow all these things, or the person who takes care of all the election work? Should we question them? So will they be answerable to this? Definitely they have to answer, because see, there are many unfair means. So just to win the election, okay, see, winning the hearts of people is more important for a representative rather than following all the unfair practices. Sorry, it's not trade. Yes, unfair practices. So this usually happens. Few people, what they do, they try to remove the names, though it is genuine in nature, they try to remove those names. Okay, something very, very genuine. Yes, they are still there. The person is still there. He is ready to vote, but his name is removed from the voters list. And few fake names will be added, false names. Is it easy to add? That I have no idea, because I have not worked with any election commission. Okay, so whether it is easy, who adds to this? See, candidates want to win, right? So that's the reason what they do. Just to get more votes, they play all such games, which is actually unfair in nature, and we should never actually support all those things. Okay, so they even misuse the government facilities, whatever government facilities are given. So those they misuse, and even the officials they take use of officials and all. Okay, during the ruling party and all. So that is wrong again. You should use the government facilities given in a right manner, and if at all just to win the election, if you are using it in a wrong manner, all those, or you are misusing it, then you have to face the consequences there. Few people, what they do, they use the rich people, especially rich candidates, or say big parties, very huge parties, very well-known parties. What these people do, they use excessive money. Okay, they use excessive money, and whether this is acceptable in nature, because already they have given how much money has to be spent and all. So even after giving all these things, people are following all the unfair practices. So whether this is correct? No, it is not correct. Okay, and people should not do that. When, yes, no doubt you want to win, but that doesn't mean that you follow or you adopt all the unfair practices. It is totally prohibited. Then comes intimidation. Few people, what they do, if you don't vote, I make sure, I create one or the other problem. So again, this would be the problem there, right? Intimidation. You are provoking somebody, or you are forcing someone to do certain things which they are not ready to do. Bringing a kind of force on somebody else just to win the election. So all these things are quite very common, but again it is considered to be unfair practice. So most of the reports given by the newspaper or maybe news channels are totally correct in nature. Okay, we agree with those things because they give the correct information itself. And when we read all those things, we really feel unhappy because we are the one who will be choosing our representative. And our representative, just to win, if they are playing all such games, then unfair practices, if they are following all the unfair practices, it is not correct in nature, right? So that's the reason what happens, these unfair practices has to be totally stopped. So now, can that defeat the purpose of election? What is the purpose of election? We have to serve the purpose, right? So what is the purpose of the election? The very purpose is to elect the representative just for the ruling sake, right? They have to rule the nation. So we need certain representative to represent us. So can following all these things, so that is all the unfair practices, can that defeat the very purpose of election? No, that does not happen. So these things, it does not happen in a large scale. That's the reason what happens, the very purpose cannot be taken up. Okay, very purpose of election does not get defeated here. So now they are asking, can any party come into ruling not because it is popular but by doing election malpractice? There are chances. There are chances that few people may win, okay, without having popularity. So they will not be having any popularity, but only thing is they have chosen this malpractice, or say unfair practices. They have adopted unfair practices just to win. And to what extent this is correct, whether it is correct or wrong, we cannot decide it, okay. But yes, can they win? Definitely they can win if they spend more and more money. Few people, what they do, they will be totally like they do not have any other option. They will not be having any other option apart from taking money and voting, because what happens, poverty, okay, poverty makes them to have their take money from these candidates and vote for them. Why do they vote? Because they will be having their consciousness that yes, I have taken money from so and so person, I should vote for that particular person. So it depends upon conscience, okay. So this is true many a times, not because of the popularity or the way he treats people, he'll win the election, but he will be winning the election just by using the malpractice, like either adding false names or giving money, okay, spending money like lavishly and giving it to all the members and all, or the people themselves, okay. Like see, a few people do come to distribute money, if you know this, okay. So again, those means are considered to be the unfair means. So the next is now to decide, okay, to decide whether an election can be conducted in a fair or say free manner, then we have to know that who conducts the election, okay. Just to understand whether any of the election was fair or unfair, or maybe how it was how the election was conducted, we have to know who conducted it. When it comes to India, okay, when it comes to India, we have something called as Independent Election Commission. So this independent, the word itself suggests that it is totally independent. Nobody can force them, okay, they will be working independent, like just like judiciary. As we have already discussed about the organs, I have told you many a times that judiciary is totally independent and no person can poke their nose into it, okay, they cannot question them, right. So whatever they decide has to be just accepted, though people don't need it sometimes, but they do accept it. So now when it comes to this, whether do we have any independent or under government, should we inform them? It is important even to know if the ruling party of the government is pressurizing them. So it so happens that who is conducting election, that matters a lot. Now when we answer this particular question, then the next question is whether the government is pressurizing them for any of the malpractice to be done, okay, or any such ruling party, okay, ruling party, whether they are pressurizing them to just to have power. See what happens once you get power, you don't feel like leaving that particular seat, right? So that's the reason to hold that particular seat, okay, to be there on that particular seat. What these people do, they have to follow all this malpractice, or say they follow all this unfair means, right? So now in India we do have an independent election commission, okay, so the election will be conducted by this election commission itself. It is totally independent, just like judiciary. So here when it comes to election commission, the chief commissioner, okay, he is appointed by the President of India, the person with a higher rank, okay. But yes, whatever work he is doing or whatever he shall be doing once he is appointed, he shall not be answerable to the President or the government. So good, no? See, once you get appointed, most of the time it so happens that you will be answerable to someone, right? Saying that yes, I have finished so and so portion. When it comes to a teacher or a lecturer, yes, I have finished so and so thing, still I have to cover so much of portion, yes, notes given, all those things they do answer. If you take some other profession, everywhere you have to answer. But here, once the person is chosen by the President of India, he shall be independent in nature and he shall not be liable. Okay, he shall not be liable to answer anything. So he need not be asked to answer any of the questions there. So this is again luck, right? Yes. So though sometimes what happens, whatever work done by the election commission will not be acceptable, or maybe it is not liked by the government. But even then they have to accept it, because election commission is an independent organ. So the next is, see the powers given to the election commission. Let us know about the powers given to the election commission. Very first is take a decision, okay, it has to take the decision on every aspect of conduct. So how it has to conduct the election, okay, to control the elections, okay, like how it has to be controlled, in what way it has to be controlled, okay, right from the announcement of conducting the election to the declaration. It has to be very active, very attentive, and very what I can say is should have the willing, or they should have the they should know what exactly they are doing, what are their works, okay. They have to take care of each and every minute things there. They cannot say that okay, my work is done. No, their work is not done until and unless the declaration of election takes place. That's the reason they have to be very, very active when it comes to these things, and they will be the one who will be taking decision, okay, regarding to the conduct and even the control of election, okay. The next is implements the code of conduct. So as I told you, there is a code of conduct for candidates, and yes, apart from that there are certain code of conducts as given by the central government itself, okay. And yes, if any person fails to follow those things, then definitely there is certain sanctions related to them, nothing but the punishment, okay. The person who violates certain code of conduct, definitely the person would be punished. Then comes during the period of election, what happens, okay, what all works he'll be doing. He shall give the guidelines, nothing but for each and every constituency he'll be giving the guidelines how the election has to be conducted, okay. So what happens, see, now imagine, earlier it was ballot system, then they came up with electronic machine, right, electronic voting machine, EVM system. Now when EVM system came into existence, most of the people who were totally uneducated, who used to vote, now because they did not know what exactly how exactly the EVM works, most of the people, they did not go to vote. So what did they do? They educated these people, nothing but they imparted education, saying that yes, you have to use this particular electronic voting machine in such a way, okay. So all those things they did come up with, so that people can understand how to use those electronic machine, okay, voting machine. So apart from that, EC will be giving, EC is nothing but Election Commission will be giving all the guidelines to the government, okay, and prevent it from getting misuse of any of the power, okay, he shall be prevented, okay, no person can misuse any of the power given to him. So that's the reason it has to keep a check so that whatever power is being given, that is not misused. Apart from that, to enhance the chances of winning or to transfer any official, so as I told you, misuse all those things, nothing but just to win, they cannot adopt all the malpractices or say unfair practices. So that has to be totally stopped. Then, during the conduct of election duty, the government servant shall work under the control of the EC and not under the government. Okay, see, though the president elects election commissioner, okay, he shall be working very independently. No person can question him, first thing. The second is, see, when it comes to election, every government officer, every government servant, okay, so government servant, this definition is given under section 21 of IPC. So they have to follow that particular, those people, okay, who are coming under section 21 as government servant, they will be appointed for the work, okay, they will be, the work will be distributed, how they have to conduct, how the work has to be done and all that will be, those instructions will be given. So once it is given, okay, and now they are working, those government servants who are working for the sake of election, they will be coming under election commissioner now and not the government. They are working for the election commissioner and not the government. No doubt they are government servants, but yes, for the sake of election, okay, they will be working for the election commissioner and not the government. So that is what is being said. Okay, so being government servant, you will be working for the government, right? Always you will be working for the betterment of the place, betterment, nothing but you will be working totally for the government, right? You will be under the control of the government. But when it comes to election, okay, when it comes to election, you will be working under the control of election commissioner. The next is independent election commission, like apart from that, what all things are given, let's see. So as we know that from past 25 years, the election commission is working here, okay, it is exercising its powers and even it is trying to enhance them. See, no doubt, the like past 25 years, so many powers are given to the EC. So not only, it is not only enjoying those powers, but even it is trying to enhance it. So it is very common for the election commission to reprimand the government and administration for their lapses. So any lapses that takes place, so it can reprimand the government here. So imagine any of the election is taken place with unfair means or it is not fair enough. Then what the EC does is, he shall order, okay, the election commissioner shall order for a repoll, nothing but conduct the election again, whatever it is, you have followed all the unfair means, unfair practices. So that's the reason you have to like conduct the election again. So the government often does not like, many a times it so happens, right, though they have elected, what happens, they do not like the EC because these repeatedly doing the voting or maybe he has his own ethics and also that may not be liked by the government. But even then, as the EC is it is an independent one, they have to obey because they have already given that particular, what I can say is right to the election commissioner. So that's the reason no person can question him, no government can poke their nose. Understood? So that's the reason when it comes to election, okay, election commissioner is working independently and he is having all the powers and he shall not be answerable to the government. So let us know about popular participation. What actually is popular participation? So when it comes to popular participation, see, now we have to check, okay, we have to check the quality, right? So whether the quality of the election is good or bad, this we have to check. So election process, okay, see, when it comes to check the quality of the election process, it is to see whether people participate in it or no. I guess in 2014 or 19, during election, most of the people, they did not attend, they did not give their vote, they did not cast their vote. So to what extent this is correct? When the government, when the government has declared for election, it means that you being the citizen, that too, the citizen of India, being the citizen, you should never escape from your duties. Yes. So when you're supposed to elect the representative, then you have to be ready for that, right? So when it comes to this, whether people participate in it or no, that too with enthusiasm matters a lot. So if it is not fair, definitely people will not participate. They would say, however, my name is not there, why should I go? And what that person does, that person will not even allow the other person to go, saying that my name is purposely removed, or they have done some unfair means. No, we will not go and vote. So people's participation in election is usually measured by voter turnout figures. So turnout indicates the percent of eligible voters who actually cast their vote. So turnover, nothing but turnout indicates, so how many people can vote. So that depends upon the eligible voters and who actually they are casting their vote. See, unlike in other nations and all, when it comes to people's participation, it matters a lot, and nowadays the turnover rate is increasing. It is increasing because people are knowing, they very well know that if at all they fail to vote, definitely they themselves are losing their legal right, and yes, apart from that, they will not be allowed to question any person there. Understood? That's the reason each and every person should cast their vote. So the turnout when it comes to Europe or say North America, it has declined, but when it comes to India, it has been improving, as I told you. So it is either stable right from many years, or maybe it is actually gone up. So this is the change that has happened when it comes to India. So the next is, yes, see what happens in India, the poor, illiterate and underprivileged people vote in larger proportions. Say in US and all, the rich people do vote. They are the rich people with all privilege, they do vote. But when it comes to India, only the poor people, they do vote, and the rich, or say the privileged sections, they never come for voting. So, don't you think, have you ever wondered why elections, when they conduct elections, only poor people, or say underprivileged people, they do vote, and why not the rich people? Because they feel that all the representatives are of no use and all these things. Because I have discussed many a time with even students, because what they do, they press nota and come. So that is, it is a legal right given to you, right? You have to enjoy the right. No doubt, that is their wish. Definitely, I cannot speak on that, but even then. So in India, as we know, there are many poor people, illiterate and even underprivileged people. They come in a large proportion compared to rich and privileged people. And yes, the interest of voters in election related activities has been increasing. When it comes to electional activities, it has been increasing, and people are showing much more interest here. So 1 out of every 7 voters is a member of a political party. You see, 1 out of 7 people, they are working for the political party. So here, common people in India attach a lot of importance to election. That is very common in nature. Even if you are rich, few people being down to earth, or they know the importance of election, definitely they never give up their this vote. So they feel that through election they can bring pressure on political parties. So this is a common thing, what people think, that yes, if at all we choose a person, a representative, definitely through pressurizing them, we can make them work. And yes, on political parties to adopt policies and even programs favorable to them. So something that is favorable to us, favorable to people, that has to be adopted, right? So to make this adoptable, what these people do, they feel that, how do they feel that? Yes, election, if at all I vote, definitely I'll be having rights to question the other person, the representative, saying that I have chosen you, what exactly you have done. And yes, we can pressurize them, saying that whatever policies and programs that are favorable to the people, that can be asked. So the next is acceptance of election outcomes. So what are the outcomes then? Okay, what are the outcomes so that can be seen here? So if elections are not free and fair enough, definitely there would not be, the outcomes will be always in favors of the powerful. So what happens if the elections are not conducted in a proper way? Okay, whether either in a free or say a fair manner, then definitely what would be the outcome? It is nothing but the powerful will win here. So here the ruling parties do not lose election. Okay, this is very common. What happens? The ruling party will continue its ruling. What are the outcomes then? Okay, let us know about those things. Very first is the ruling parties routinely lose elections in India. This usually happens, right? Every now and then the parties keep changing, like the ruling party keeps changing. So it is very common, okay, both at the national and the state level. So in fact, in every 2 out of the 3 elections held in last 15 years, the ruling party has lost. Okay, most of the time they have been winning again and again. Most of the time they have been losing to the other party. So see, in US and all, they are having incumbent or sitting person, okay, sitting person, elected representative, nothing but he is representing a group of people, nothing but he is a representative. Okay, they rarely lose an election. But when it comes to India, this is quite very common that people do lose their election, right? They always lose, okay? So, barring very few disputed elections, the electoral outcomes are usually accepted as people's verdict by the defeated party. So, this usually happens, right? So, when you don't win, what you will do? You accept it, saying that, okay, maybe people did not want us to come. They have chosen the best, let them work. Let us work hand in hand. So this is what the defeated person thinks, saying that yes, it is a people's verdict. So now what are the challenges to conduct free and fair elections? How that is possible? Because people are following or they are adopting all the unfair election practices, right? So are there any free and fair elections possible? Yes. It's a known fact, that elections in India are basically free and fair. So every person tells the same thing, right? It is totally free and fair. Now, the party that wins an election and forms the government as people have chosen. So only because people have chosen, you would like to be the ruling party or anything, so it depends. But when it comes to constituency, this may not be very true. A few candidates may win purely on the basis of money and unfair means. So this is very common at the constituency level. But when it comes to as you all know, Lok Sabha election and all, that has to be very fair and free in nature. So there are still few questions which are unanswered. What are the questions then? Are people's preferences based on real knowledge? Are they choosing the right person there? Is it based upon the real knowledge? Are the voters getting a real choice? So have you ever thought, yes, are we getting any real choice to choose among the best? So how do we choose them then? Are we having any policies to choose the people there? So is election really level playing field for everyone? Can an ordinary citizen hope to win elections? Ordinary person, can they win? It depends. We cannot answer all those things. It totally depends, because no doubt there is free and fair election, no doubt. But yes, whether a common man can win the election or no, that actually depends. If at all because it is not a movie. Movies and all, they do show that a person wins the hearts of people and then he wins the election and all. That is common when it comes to movie. But yes, we cannot expect the same in real life. Yes, what are the challenges to free and fair elections then? See, candidates and parties, no doubt they'll be having lots and lots of money. That's the reason they come as election candidates. Okay, like they stand for the election and all. Okay, only because they are having money. But only because you have money doesn't mean that victory is in your hand. No. Okay, so a big and unfair advantage, a few people, okay, they enjoy. Sometimes what happens? People will be having, the candidates will be having lots of money, but they'll not be sure about victory. But they will be having all the chance to adopt the malpractices, okay, or say unfair practices. There will be a hell lot number of opportunities because money speaks. Right? Don't go and check whether money speaks or no. Again, ma'am has said this. See, people do run behind money, right? Most of the people, they do run behind money. Imagine if you get some 2000 note on the road, will you not take it? Definitely, right? But yes, don't take all such note, okay, and don't use it for yourself and all. Give it to some poor person so that he will be under benefit, okay? Yes. So unfair advantage is possible over small parties and independent people because say independence, what happens when you have lots of money? You can buy people, they say, right? Nothing but what you can do is you can say them that I'll be paying you so and so money and you have to vote. So people they get influenced because most of the people, okay, when it comes to election and all, most of the people, they will be totally uneducated. They will not be knowing what exactly is happening, whom to choose, what exactly to do. This has happened actually. Okay, near my home and all, few people, they went, I asked them, did you vote? Yes, I did vote. Whom did you vote? No, they said like you press the first button, I did press and I came. So wrong way, right? This happened some few years ago, that is different. But even then, as people are uneducated, they will not be knowing what these people will do. They will pay some 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees or give them sari. A few people have done this. They have distributed sari. Apart from sari, they have distributed many other things, okay, which I cannot tell here. They do all such things which has to be actually prohibited, and it has to be made punishable actually. Yes, so what these people, the rich people, what they do, they are having lots and lots of money, right? So they buy the vote, nothing but they bring an undue influence, okay? They totally force a person to follow whatever they say. So in some parts of the country, candidates with criminal connections, okay, even with the criminal connections and all, they have been able to push others. No doubt from electoral race, they will be able to push the other person. Nothing but they threaten him and they say, see, I should be the only person for this constituency, you don't come, okay? You cannot represent. And also this is very common. If you are having criminal connections and all, these things are very common. And just to take up the ticket, excuse me, these people do all such things. They play all such dirty games. But only if you are winning the hearts of the people, that itself can help you to have or say to form a government. Okay, if you win the people, win the hearts of the people, then only definitely you will win the race. So these and all are unfair means. So some families say what they do, they tend to dominate the political parties. Imagine if the parties from time immemorial, they are into election and they are having many people around them and even relatives they have. So what they do, they give money sometimes, or sometimes they bring an pressure on few of the people and they say that you have to give ticket to so and so person itself and not any other person. So these and all are again common. So again it is violating free and fair election, right? Yes. So very often it is like elections offer little choice to ordinary citizens. Okay, for both the major parties are quite similar to each other both in policies and practice. So very often election, what actually it does, just to adopt, it gives a chance to all the ordinary citizens for adopting the good policies and even practice. So smaller parties or say independent candidates, they suffer a huge disadvantage because they will not be having more money, they will not be having large families, or they have not come from election or they are not come from the background with election and all, like all these things happens, right? So that's the reason what happens, only the big parties may win. And what these big parties they do, they come, they influence or they pressurize the other person and they take up the tickets and all. So this is again unfair means, right? So there are many challenges when it comes to democratic nation, okay? As I have told you, they have to fulfill a few of the condition. Even after fulfilling few of the condition, if free and fair means of election is not conducted, then it will not be the correct way. So that's the reason in all the democratic nations, few are matter of concern. So who has to take care of all these things? Even citizens are bothered about these things because they don't accept all such things. They are not happy with all these unfair means. The social activists are behind this. Okay, they are questioning, saying that why you people have to have this unfair means of election and all. Why can't that be very simple and very transparent in nature? Apart from that, few of the organizations also have been demanding for the reforms. Nothing but bring the changes, because we do not want to have the same way of conducting the election wherein all these people with criminal background, criminal connection and all, they like coerce other person, and few people they are having money and they are buying votes. Few people are removing the names. All those things are unfair practices, right? So those means are followed and they are trying to win the election. So this has to be totally removed. So that is what they are asking. So here we come to the end of the chapter here. So dear students, see, election is again, or say voting is a legal right, and it is the right given to each and every citizen. So please do vote as and when you attain the age of 18 years, and if you have got any chance to vote, don't miss it. Okay, once you attain the age of 18, see that you apply to get the election card and get it done. Now it has done, they have done very nicely. Okay, unfortunately certain things happen and I had to apply and I have got a new card. It is excellent. Okay, yes. People do follow these unfair means. Now, you people being the citizens, okay, you have to say that the unfair means will be totally stopped now. Okay, so please do think of good reforms to be brought into the election, so that there will not be any of the unfair practices that can be followed. Dear students, with this we have come to an end of this particular chapter. We have learned many things here. If you have any doubts, see that you can contact me at any time. Thank you so much. Have a great day.